David Patterson parked his car and headed into the Clawed and Dangerous Kitty Cat Club, a Dallas-based social gathering spot for Jaguar shifters. Humans didn't know that the shifters even existed, and the shifters meant to keep it that way. The owners of the establishment didn't restrict humans from frequenting the place, since more business meant more money. But David wasn't there to support the club. His current task as a Special Forces Golden Claw JAG agent was to follow two unruly teens, Jaguar shifter twins Alex and Nate Taylor, and bring them into the JAG branch if they violated one more law, Jaguar shifter or otherwise. This was not the kind of mission JAG agents normally took on, unless the organization felt the teens were at risk, or that they could be a welcome asset to the branch, and the agent was between assignments. Neither of the boys was supposed to be in a club that served alcohol, which he would let slide if they were only there to watch the dancers in their skimpy leopard skin loincloths and micro-bikini tops. The place was more crowded than David remembered the last time he was here. One rowdy group caught his attention. They looked different. Many were in great shape, almost as if they were shifters in the service. But they were speaking in a smattering of foreign languages: Spanish, Russian, Chinese. And some of them wore clothes that were unusual. Tights, sparkly tops, and ballet slippers that looked less like club clothes and more like what a Las Vegas entertainer would wear. The air conditioning blew their scents to him. Not Jaguar shifters. They smelled of elephants, horses, camels, lions, tigers, and dogs. The circus? Had to be from there. David was surprised they hadn't changed into everyday normal clothes, unless they were trying to help promote the circus. He wrinkled his nose, glad he wasn't planning to drink anything here tonight. That was the problem with being a shifter, the enhanced ability to smell odors. He noticed other patrons glancing their way, wrinkling their noses. Must be shifters, too. The jungle music beat shook the floor and tables as conversations hummed all around him. A few couples danced on the floor, while others were just drinking and talking. Piped-in sounds of parakeets and parrots twittering and calling to each other, and an occasional monkey's howl made the silk-leaf jungle sound more like the real deal. David's attention returned to Alex and Nate. Though not as muscular, they were both as tall as David, and they could pass for adults. Alex's hair was blonde, his eyes a dark blue, while Nate was less tan and his light brown hair shaggier. One was dressed in camouflage pants, the other blue jeans, and both were wearing black t-shirts with pictures of differently posed jaguars screen-printed on the front. The words Panthera onca, the scientific name for jaguar, announced to the world that they were jaguar shifters, though only their kind would realize that's what they were saying. When David had been that age, he'd felt the same way. He'd wanted to shout to the world that he was a jaguar shifter and damned proud of it, instead of hiding it from everyone who wasn't like him. Since there were more human females than female jaguar shifters, he'd wanted human girls to see him as someone truly special. He'd often fantasized that girls he'd had crushes on were of his kind and not strictly human. Most of his kind were born as jaguar shifters, but some were humans who had been turned, which was not the best of ideas. Though his brother's wife, Maya, had turned her brother's wife-to-be, and that had worked out well, despite the trouble it could have caused if Kat had had family. So he could definitely commiserate with the twins. The boys grabbed chairs at a table, and David sat at another close by. Nate flagged down a server wearing a skimpy leopard skin dress, cut high on the thighs and low on a very well-developed bust. Red curls bouncing about her shoulders, she smiled brightly at the boys as Alex whispered their drink order.